16 because we're going to take up the whole hour
Yeah, let's
just
go.
doing this.
Let's go.
So I'll start with my first ones are you got Denmark, Germany. Germany wins. Italy,
Okay.
Netherlands. Italy wins. France, Turkey, France.
Wait, wait,
Sweden,
wait, wait,
Croatia.
wait, 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 wait. Italy, Netherlands?
I got Italy, Netherlands. Yep, and I have Italy over Netherlands.
That's it. That's you passed really fast.
I,
I don't know if Italy beats the Netherlands.
I do.
Okay.
I really do think there's a glaring hole at the back for the Netherlands,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so
I'll go Netherlands on this.
okay.
I'll go Netherlands. You're Italy. Okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if Italy won too. Okay. What more do you have? What more do you have?
Next one I've got is France, Turkey. France
France.
beating Turkey.
Yes.
Okay. So Turkey getting that third seed is going to be huge. I'm sorry, not getting that third seed for Turkey is
Mm-hmm.
going to be huge because that's how you avoid a France in this case. But you never know. And those three seeds are so bizarre because, I don't really know how they get dispersed. But Sweden, Croatia is the next one I've got, which is not exactly the most mouthwatering. You've got an aging Croatia who still has more left in the tank, we know,
Mm-hmm.
versus Sweden. I have Sweden winning there. Spain, Ukraine, this is
Wait,
my upset.
I got Croatia winning Sweden, beating Sweden.
Well, this is
Like
good. This is why we
I
do
would
this.
love to see the matches with you. Like I think Croatia will beat Sweden if that were to happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a different Croatia than what we're thinking about. They've looked good so far, I
I'm
think, right?
actually loving this. I'm loving the to have the deep thoughts, but keep going. Let's go.
Well, I wouldn't say we're having deep thoughts about this, right? But we are, just having the conversation is always fun
True.
because you start to realize, yeah, who's got. I obviously value kind of like this team setup or people I feel have like played together for a long period of time, and
Mm.
and I don't know if that's actually true amidst all of this, but that's kind of why Sweden beats Croatia for me. I have Ukraine beating Spain, and that's my upset. That's my biggest upset of the round.
No.
Yeah, I do. It's one of those things where they're gonna like grade
No,
them down. They're gonna win on PKs, penalty kicks. They'll move through. They've done this once before. It's kind of a masterclass type of Ukraine thing where they work their way into the quarterfinals
wait,
by taking the scalp of like one of the big dogs. So we'll see.
wait. You said about cohesiveness and the group and all this,
Yeah,
but Spain have no Real Madrid players, which
yeah,
is unprecedented.
it is.
And if they know each other, Spain, I don't think they would lose to Ukraine. I don't see
But
that upset happening. In
But
my
that's why
opinion,
I'm taking the team cohesion over because Ukraine has a bunch of guys that have played together. Malinovsky, I mean, these are guys that are primed for the moment. I think they can stifle a Spain. They couldn't stifle a Iniesta or a Xavi, but this is not Iniesta or Xavi. This is Fabian Ruiz. Nothing against them; they're just obviously not the same
hmm
players. And they're, I just think if this matchup presents itself, I do believe Ukraine will win.
okay.
But I could also just be leading us all down a path of having an argument for argument's sake, right?
True, true, true. So who'd you have next? The quarterfinals. You
Well,
have
I've got still got England, Portugal. I got Portugal beating England,
yes.
Austria, Scotland, Austria, and then Switzerland, Belgium. I have Belgium beating Switzerland. So Belgium as the number two avoids a Germany matchup in the
hmm
second round because if they finish third place or really any matchup from the group of death, right, with the third place. So if Belgium gets through second, they actually have a little bit of an easier round. Not really. Way to the final, but Switzerland, Belgium, I have Belgium. So
Okay.
I have Germany, Italy, France, Sweden, Ukraine, Portugal, Austria, Belgium. Who are the eight that you have moving through?
Well, the eight that I have moving through, I have Belgium, Italy,
Mm-hmm.
France, Croatia, Spain, Portugal, and Netherlands, Turkey. So I'm really surprised, like where we got something different here.
Yeah.
I feel like I got an England, Portugal beforehand,
Mhm.
and I think Portugal is gonna beat England because Portugal has something to prove, especially after what happened in Porto.
Sure.
Like what that was the Portuguese government, people here in Portugal don't really understand how Taça de Portugal, which is the Portuguese national cup, doesn't happen. But then they accept people coming to the country. I know they're tested, but still, like everything in life should have balance, and we should like think more about happiness and emotions and moments, which Taça de Portugal is usually such a good moment for Portuguese people. And the Chelsea fans, not taking away, like they should celebrate.
Hmm.
And I'm happy that Portugal actually had them. But the way they conducted themselves, there was a lot of incidents, a lot of problems, and it's never good to see, you know. So we got history together, England and Portugal. We just want to keep on going and be happy together, you know. So
I mean that I'll tell you what, it's just a shame that that's going to be a round of 16, potentially be a round of 16
but
matchup.
Portugal beats England, in my opinion. And because you got Harry Kane Sancho against Christian and Ruben Dias.
Yeah, it's
You
going to
got the
be.
experience and the youth too in Portugal, Brennan. You got João
eh,
Felix. You got Bruno Fernandes still young.
yeah,
You're gonna win that.
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. The funny thing is even if
Mm.
Portugal underperforms in the group stages, as long as they get out, even like the way these groups work. I'm sorry, the way the knockout rounds work. It's almost better if Portugal underperforms in group stages,
I agree.
so that they avoid some of these other pitfalls here. But yeah, it's a mouthwatering for sure setup
I,
there. But even if you take Portugal out and you sub in France, if France underperforms, or you sub in Belgium, goodness,
Belgium.
Germany,
Hmm.
Germany, it's going to be England has a really, really tough round of 16 matchup. So
Hmm.
if they win their group, right? So quarterfinals here. Who are your four moving on to the semifinals?
With how the third place system worked, it worked out for me. Italy, France, Portugal, Netherlands. An Italy against France and a Portugal against Netherlands.
Okay, all
You
right.
know what I'm setting up to.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah. I have Germany versus Italy and Germany winning. I have France over Sweden, Ukraine losing to Portugal, and Austria losing to Belgium. So there aren't really any major
So
crazy things. So
wait.
Germany, France,
Germany ends in
Portugal,
third.
Belgium for me.
Germany ends in third in your predictions, and they're also in the semifinals.
Yep.
I like you're bold, Brendan. You're bold.
Germany, they have to beat Denmark and Italy to get there, and I think those are two that they are well equipped to beat.
I don't think they beat Italy. I think Italy beats Germany. But
Yeah.
okay, so
You and
my
I will be
final.
sharing a beer during that game.
I love it. Uh, my final Portugal France. Run it back, Turbo. It needs to happen. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see
Yeah.
Benzema, Mbappe against Christian, Ruben Dias, Brun again. I'm really excited. So many stars, and I think it would be a really good spectacle to see, like a
Yeah.
Portugal France again, and I think Portugal wins it. Obviously I'm biased, sou português, so yeah,
Yeah,
Portugal.
well,
Bora bora.
yeah, well, you never know. I mean, I think Adair just he just let his contract run up somewhere in Russia, right? You could sign
Hmm.
him, not sign him, put him in there right away, put him on the bench, have him ready to go for extra time. Um, I have a France Belgium final. I have Belgium beating Portugal in the semis, and I think that they'll get revving along. My biggest worry about Belgium is their defense, for sure. And Jason Denayer does not necessarily make what you call it inspire confidence as
Understand.
much as others. But I do feel like Lukaku, De Bruyne, it's just this is their last chance, in my opinion. I think it's obviously they'll have the World Cup, but
Hmm.
Lukaku, De Bruyne, this is one of their last chances to bring it home. This golden generation, while there's a whole lot of really phenomenal stars behind them, I don't know if anyone of them will turn out as talismanic, I don't know, as a De Bruyne or as a Lukaku. So I do feel like France Belgium is going to happen, and I think France still wins with
French
me.
speaking countries, that'd be a good final. That'd be
Yeah,
a good final. And
yeah,
you put Belgium in second in the group stage, right? So
I
you're
did.
really betting on De Bruyne picking up from the injury and having some good games.
I am, and them finishing second actually leads to them having a better. It's just kind of the way the my simulation worked out. And yeah, I mean,
Yep.
if you have Switzerland first, right,
Yeah.
and then you have Austria, if you're not, and then you get to Portugal. If you're not in the semifinals and giving yourself the best chance, if
Well,
you're Belgium, if it works out this way,
well,
yeah. So
If De Bruyne had won the UEFA Champions League and won the Euros, he would have won
mhm,
Ballon d'Or. But
yeah,
yeah, let's see. Let's see. I think France has a lot of players that want to be the best player in the world. Mbappe, even Benzema. I know he didn't go far in the Champions League, but you got a lot of characters there that would hate losing, especially to a France or to an England team or a Portugal team.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you what, we barely talked about France this whole time around. So I think we could probably do a
people
whole
know.
episode on France alone. But yeah, Kylian Mbappe, man. Uh, it's funny at 22, we've already kind of cast him aside as like just a legend,
Hmm.
and not even thinking of him as a U23 player. I am really interested to see if he's going to have the same type of impact that he had at the World Cup, right? And him working together with a Benzema, that is, I mean, that is very important. That could actually wind up being either what sinks them or obviously what makes them just kind of, they're not going to walk their way
I
through
agree.
this, but
I
what
agree.
makes them studly throughout this tournament. So Benzema and Mbappe, if there's no chemistry,
Mm. Griezmann and Benzema, I think will work every time
yeah,
because I feel like that's a really good duo. Griezmann playing behind a Benzema. Mbappe will shine because he always shines.
yeah,
That's what makes him special. That's the intangible. It's very hard for Mbappe not to have one of those moments where you say, "Whoa, look at that run, look at that
right,
shot. Look, he's special." And the holding midfield, Kante and Pogba. This is elite levels we got here, you
yeah,
know? And we know Pogba, when he plays for France, is like a flip a switch and he becomes a leader. You know,
hmm,
the speeches in the final, the iconic moments, and even in the penalties, right? There was a
yeah,
moment in the Europa League final. In big moments, Pogba's there.
yeah,
And all these players you're saying, they're in transfer situations. So we might see what we Mbappe might need to perform to go to Real Madrid maybe. Sancho might need to perform to go to England. Harry Kane might need to perform to go to a big team. So a lot of moves waiting to be done, and that's why the Euros are going to be so good.